And welcome back to another episode of World with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. And remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest. Give you a couple of words about my guest. Dual perspective, active, vocalization, creative, all the way from Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Richard B. Pierre. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show. I love that intro.
No problem, man. Now you are, those words go along with award-winning writer, director, and producer. So we're here to talk about you and, all of those accolades that you, possess. And your latest project is called An Uninvited Guest. I've seen the trailer, but I just want you to pretty much, talk a little bit more about, your latest project.
For sure. And I'll keep it short and sweet because it is a short film and I try to be as succinct as possible. But yeah, I like to describe it basically as dinner in the Twilight Zone by way of racial profiling and police brutality. It's, as I said, it's like a 3-minute short film. It's been playing the festival circuit, screened at about a dozen festivals already. It picked up about 4 different awards, including Best Thriller at Holly Shorts back in November.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's what's up. Hey, man. Look, as I said before, you've dealt with like race-related projects in the past. Like this isn't your first go-around, with these types of projects. What was the driving force towards, making this short?
Yeah, this one, I could pretty much pinpoint it to a specific moment in time. It was way back in, I think, 2015 when we saw, a series of shocking videos that, I think in the Black community, we've seen these videos before. We've reacted strongly to them in the past, but in that last round, that was really, I think, where Black Lives Matter started to really emerge as a force. So anyhow, I was sitting down having my dinner, watching the 6 o'clock news, and I watched this video on repeat, and it just seemed to never stop, and at least in my head. And there I am just casually having dinner, watching this video of a Black man getting murdered on the 6 o'clock news. And it was too much, and I wanted to find some sort of creative way. I'm a filmmaker, so it's I wanted to find some creative way of, processing this, commenting on this, doing something about it. And that's when I came up with the idea for the film. I basically wrote it, I won't say the next day, but probably the next day. And it was just whatever that draft of the script was, it really didn't change a lot between the time that I wrote it, managed to get some funding for it, and shot it. It was pretty much the exact same script.
Okay, all right. So, as you said before, I know you won some awards. The feedback has been great. What was it like? As you said before, getting the funding, getting the characters together, getting certain people to play these characters. What was all that like? Because I guess, being an actor or an actress, when you get scripts, and trust me, everybody wants to work, but sometimes you have to know your lane, so to speak, and something of this caliber, I'm pretty sure isn't for the timid. So what was that process like, just working with characters and just getting all that stuff straight out?
So I'll say this, for me, the whole process was just personally, it was psychologically intense. Obviously we're dealing with serious material here. It's not I'm approaching it with as much gravitas as one can possibly muster.
Yes.
And I'm a mixed race Black person. So there's also that whole level of things where I'm is this even my story to tell?
Right.
There's a little bit of self-doubt there. Ultimately, I think if you are not white in this world, you're gonna experience some level of racism. If you're Black, it's, I think, guaranteed that you will experience racial profiling. And I am getting a little away from your question, but I will get back to there.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Come on.
Yeah, but it's that whole, I think all of that was a weight that was on me, just in the process of dealing with this film.
Mhm.
In the process of applying for a grant, I was like, should I even be making this film? Am I the right person to tell this story? And who am I going to surround myself with to help tell that story so we tell it as authentically as possible? So like the first round, I did some like non-union casting. We were trying to see if we could get some non-union people to work on it.
Mhm.
And to be perfectly honest, I found a couple really good actors who I thought, they could possibly do this, but I couldn't find the full crew of actors, at least, that I wanted to work with. So then I had to jump through a lot more hoops and spend more money and go the union route. And I'm really glad I did, because like when I did those auditions, like there's so many wonderful Black actors who like brought like so much pain and truth to the role that I was just like, you kind of wish you could hire everybody and be like, because everyone had this unique perspective on it. And it was just like, again, the audition process was just like, it was heavy.
Yeah.
Like, especially since it's a silent film. So like how I had to like walk the actors through what they needed to do was, I don't know. It's like there should have been like a counselor there to just go through the audition process. It was,
Well,
it was intense.
I mean, and to your point, like I've seen the trailer. The trailer is only 20 seconds. Okay, so in the 20 seconds that I've seen, I'm like, okay, all right, wow, okay. So I had to ask that question because I know that's something that's, like, hey, you know what, I'm going to go in and audition for this role. Oh, what role are you auditioning for? Oh, I'm auditioning for this role for this, movie called Uninvited Guest. It's about this, that, and the other. No, you're not going to go in and do that. Like there's a certain process. So, you hit it on something a little earlier, about being like a mixed race. Man, just like, what are some of your views? Like, if you can just be so candid, about like race and what's going on in the world right now.
Do you have an hour? Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, if you have a 2 to 3 minute version, I would take.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's certainly a complicated time. I think to be a Black person, it's a complicated time to be a mixed race Black person. Yeah, I mean, it's just so heavy. Like part of it is like, again, just from my own perspective, I don't want to take up too much of the time on this issue. Like I think, you want to push other people to the forefront. I think as a mixed race person during this time, like you don't want to be the person hogging the spotlight, as it were, even though, it's kind of weird because like ultimately I've been like stopped by the cops before. I have been followed around stores, like all these things that happen, they happen to me. Like it's unfortunately perfectly normal. And even in Canada, like Canada and the US is actually a great topic in and of itself because, I think a lot of Americans probably think Canada is like, a utopia in many respects. And in many respects, we talk about that myth. Like, I think Canadians want to think, probably up until the summertime, that like racism doesn't even exist here. And of course, that's totally not the case. Like, I've been stopped by the cops on numerous occasions for being me. Again, as a mixed race person, I can say, well, maybe they didn't even know I was Black, but I think it's one of those things like you feel it in your gut, you know what's going on. When the random searches happen that there's nothing random about it. It's just, I mean, if you don't get in the club, guess why?
There's a reason why you don't get into
There's a reason. It has nothing to do with your shoes.
No. But no, well, I just wanted to touch on that, because of all the things that's going on. And I know what we spoke about previously, the whole Jacob Blake's, situation that happened earlier here in the US. It's just trying times. But we're going to move in a different direction. We're going to go in a more light and smooth direction. And basically, like, what's next for, you've like done this great project, you're shopping this film, there's like short around, there's won all these awards, people are talking about it. What's next for you?
Yeah, I think next is really, I mean, we still have, I think, another maybe even year of film festival run for the film. So it'll hopefully play in more festivals in the States, in Canada, and hopefully worldwide. So far, so good. The short film actually airs on TV in Canada. It would be great to get it in the US, but getting short films on television is pretty challenging, especially if it's only like a 3-minute film.
Yeah.
But because the film's done so well on the festival circuit, I have had some interest from production companies for a longer version.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what a feature-length version of the film looks like. Hopefully, that happens in 2021, 2022.
Okay.
We'll see. But yeah, definitely some more feature-length projects.
All right.
And maybe even something a little bit more lighthearted as my next film. Who knows? But
Okay.
Probably not. Probably not.
No. Hey, look, seriously, you have, created your own lane, and especially, when it comes to, those types of like topics that need to be brought to the forefront. So if that's what like if you've grown your niche in that, so why not live it out, But as I said, you are a creative and you know what's going to come out before anyone else. So I wish you well in those ventures.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to get in contact with you, how can people get in contact with you?
Oh, real easy. I would say just go to richardbpierre.com and you will find a bunch of links and whatnot. You can stalk me on social media. If you send me a DM, I'm probably going to respond. So
Okay.
Yeah, reach out.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Send him a DM. He will reach out. All right. So this has brought us to the very last question of the show, the question my show is known for. Mr. Richard B. Pierre, what is the one word that best describes you and why?
Yeah, one word is hard. So I'm just going to say creative. The reason why is, I think I have like an endless reservoir of ideas. Like I love coming up with ideas every single day. I love experimenting. I love trying new things. Like if you look at my work, I've done a documentary. I've done like a kids film. I've done some comedies, and now I have this like weird thriller, horror, sort of sci-fi thing. So yeah, I love doing different things. I would love to do a musical next. Who knows? A musical about racism. It's possible.
Hey, that's possible.
Being creative.
That's possible. Okay. All right. Creative. So if you could pick another word, what would the other word be?
I would probably say sarcastic, but I don't know that
No.
I can say much.
Sarcasm can be good.
Yeah.
I've learned that trust me. So trust me, as I've grown up, sarcasm can be a great thing, Sure, it may get you kicked out of places, but hey,
Problem is, if you're too sarcastic, people don't believe you when you pitch them the racism musical, which kind of sounds like a sarcastic idea. And it might be. I don't know.
But it's real. It's real. No, you know what? I love it, man. I love it. No, seriously, I really enjoyed this time speaking with you. Good luck on all your projects. Man, hopefully we can get, or you can get, an uninvited guest, man, drawn into a feature film, and I would love to see it come to the States and featured here. Trust me, I would love to see that, So, man, good luck to you. And I would just like to say, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I'm your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Word with Ty Brownlow. Or you could just go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful interview, plus other interviews. Richard B. Pierre, we're out. Peace.
Thank you.
All right.